Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Hailey, and if you haven't figured out by the title, today's a pretty big day. Today is November 16th, which means that the James Charles X Morphe palette is being released in every single Ulta location today, and I'm about to go and get one. I'm so incredibly excited for this. I've been following this pretty closely now, ever since that he released that he was going to be launching this palette. So I'm really excited for this. I have a few friends who wanted to come along with me while I go get it. We will all be meeting up after all of our classes are done in about an hour. I only have one class today since it's Friday, and that's mostly the same for all of them too. But we're all done at noon, so super excited.
Where are we going?
Coconut Island!
Coconut N? What?
Coconut Island.
We're going to Ulta.
Yeah, that's what she meant. Coconut Island.
God, we're here.
Look at our sisters rider.
Look at it! Oh my god! It's so pretty.
Wow.
It's so big. It's huge. Oh my gosh.
I'm sad.
Wait.
That white's not very
No,
good.
the white you have to layer it
Hold
3
on.
times.
I'm gonna be James.
So
I want to
good.
make it a buildable white, and this is
not
the
that
shade.
pigmented.
But it's not that pigmented. But I wanted to make a buildable white, so you
No,
gotta
honestly though,
swatch it a couple
like you do, you have to do it
times.
3 times, and it gets brighter
And
and brighter
look.
each time.
Oh.
Look at that.
So good.
Oh my god. So good, so fresh.
So good, so fresh.
Sister Slay. That one is Skip.
Skip.
This is You're Kidding.
Okay.
Skip has
Oh,
Which one? Skip?
my god, the red one.
This one?
This is the true red.
Which
yes.
one's You're Kidding?
You're Kidding.
This
It's
one's
the
the
red
one?
one.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You're kidding.
You're kidding.
I like this green.
I'm buying this. I'm so excited.
Oh wait, I just took a picture.
A video.
Do I press and hold?
Yeah. It's Instagram.
He's illiterate. It's fine.
You're kidding.
He's walking around with all this stuff.
Hi. So update, we went and picked up the palette as you saw, and we ran a bunch of other errands while we were out, and then Hunter actually got like a surprise email that morning that he was approved to move dorms. After we got done with all of our errands, we all helped Hunter pack all of his things and move them over to the new dorm and help set up a little bit, things like that. I only just got back to my room. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted. But I have the palette here. It's kind of enormous. It's still 100% unopened. I haven't looked at it. I haven't done any swatches yet. As you saw in the store, my friend Jasmine did do a couple of swatches, but I have not done any yet personally. I haven't even like touched the shadow at all. This is 100% an unbiased review of the Morphe X James Charles palette. That being said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm exhausted. But I kind of also just spent like the last half an hour making sure my camera angle was right and making sure the backdrop was okay. It's still not okay, but it's the best that I can do for a college dorm at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, making sure my lighting was good. And that took forever. I feel like I need to like back up or something because this palette is so big, it doesn't fit in the frame. What about that? Oh, it's a lot better actually. I'm really excited to get into this palette. I'm really excited to review it, to check it out. I'm really excited just for this video in general, honestly. Like, ever since I heard that this was coming out, I have been really excited. I knew immediately that I was going to go get it the absolute day that it came out. So all I was planning on doing for this video was obviously vlogging me going to get it and then unboxing and swatching on camera. So I went to the Ulta store to go pick this up. Ulta opens at 10 o'clock a.m. I made it there by about 1 p.m. because I did have class to go to before I could go out and get this palette. There were people like running outside and shouting. I love living in a dorm. Once we got up to the counter to pay for it, you know, we were asking about like if it was selling, if there was like a line at any point, and the cashier, she said that when they opened there was a line, and like they have been selling it non-stop all day. So much to the point where like I got there 3 hours after they opened, and she said that the only stock that they had left was what was actually on display in the store, which when I got there was about, well, you saw the clip, it's probably maybe 6 or 7 of these, I would guess. And I didn't see the brushes at all. They had Jaclyn Hill brushes out. So my guess is that those probably sold out entirely. So this is the Morphe X James Charles eyeshadow palette. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay. It kind of hasn't hit me yet that this is like my palette. Like I own this. I'm rambling. That's okay. So on the back there is a cute little note from James, and it says, "Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my palette. I love glam, but I also have a huge passion for crazy, colorful, outside of the box makeup, and I created this palette with that in mind. I included every beautifully formulated shade necessary to create literally any look you could possibly imagine. I can't wait to see what you come up with when you unleash your inner artist." James Charles. So let's just open it. Oh my god, I'm opening it. Oh my gosh, this is like crazy. I've also never owned a Morphe palette ever. This is my first ever Morphe palette. Okay, so it comes in this bubble wrap to keep it safe. Okay, so once you get into it, it shows this beautiful, simple black, and in like it's a very nice matte black, but in like this shiny black. It of course says, you can see that, Morphe X James Charles. Ta-da! Oh my gosh! It has this little like glossy sheet thing over it, and it has all of the names on it. This is so pretty! Up top here, in that glossy black print again, it says, "Unleash your inner artist," which is the campaign slogan. Just look at that. One of my favorite things in the whole entire world is eyeshadow that hasn't been touched yet. I almost don't even want to touch it because it's so pretty. So there are 39 shades here, and I'm going to swatch all of them for you now. As you can see, like I'm decently fair. I do still kind of have my tan from this past summer. The underside of my arms is a lot more fair. So we're gonna go chronologically, I think. So starting right here, going all the way down, just like this. The very first shade is Canvas, which is just a nice light nude color, which I imagine will be a good base. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a ton about eyeshadows and like what it should be like, but it does feel very soft to me. Okay, I'm kind of like awkwardly sitting against the wall here, but okay. So first things first, I have the shade Canvas, which again is just a nice light nude. And honestly, you can even you can barely see that on me, but I think that'll make for a nice little base for sure. Next is a shimmer. It is called Ring Light. Ooh, that is so pretty. Look at that shine. Okay, so next is this metallic gold shade, which is called So Good. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Kinda can't see that one as well. Let me see if we can go over it again, because I do know some of these you kind of have to layer it on and go over it a few different times. Still not really seeing it. Oh, you can kind of see some of the color there now. Well, honestly, I feel like most of it is still on my finger. Well, on to the next shade, which is 518. And that is the very first pressed pigment. It is a bright orange. Put that right here. Oh my gosh. That looks exactly like it does, like in the palette. That's crazy. So the next shade is Rusted, which is this little like, well, kind of rust colored, burnt orange, like orangey red type of shade. So we're gonna put that right under 518. Whoa. That looks like there might be a little bit of fallout on that, but this pigment, like I know everybody is saying that the big thing with this palette is the pigment, but this is unreal. I can't even begin to explain to you how unreal this pigment is, honestly. So the next shade in is like a metallic rust shade, which is called Halloween. It's kind of bronzy, like coppery, I guess I should say. Ooh, that's pretty. Next to that, we have a glittery gold color called Wig. Ooh. This is like really sparkly. Like you can't really see the pigment of it on camera all that well, I feel like. But it is really sparkly. So the last shade in this row is just a kind of medium brownish color called Tea. Ooh, that's a nice color. That's a good brown. That's a really good brown. So next row down, first shade of that is a matte taupe color called Punch Me. I think that'll be a really good like transition shade. The next shade over is called Sister. It is just a nice light pink metallic shade. There is a little bit of shimmer there. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Oh, there you go. But other than that, it's really not pigmented much at all. So actually, I feel like that would be best used as like a highlighter. We have this really pretty matte mauve shade called Mary right here. Ooh, so pretty. I'm horrible at swatching. That is like a disgusting swatch. But that's a really pretty color. I think that might end up being one of my favorites, honestly. Next to that, we have a medium pink shimmer, and that is called Literally. Ooh, that is so pretty too. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know which one of these are the pressed pigments and which ones are just normal eyeshadows. Like obviously, like yes, I could look, but in case if you did not know, some of these are pressed powders, which basically just mean that they were pressed a little bit differently, just to get the most amount of pigment possible. So the next shade I do know for a fact is a pressed powder, and I also do know that James was very, very proud of this particular shade. This shade is what he called a true red. It's so incredibly difficult to make a true red that it just about doesn't exist on the market until now. So because of that and how extremely pigmented this color is supposed to be, it's called, oh my gosh, you're kidding. Let's do another layer of that too, because these pressed pigments are meant to be built up. Oh my gosh. Next is a dark mauve shimmer, which is called Shook. Ooh, that's really pretty. And of course, Shook will go very well with Mary up here. Darker mauve, kind of more vampy, if you will. And that is called Boutique. Ooh. These These are so, so pretty. I can't wait to do like actual looks with these. Oh, look at that. So pretty. And the last shade in this row is a dark, dark chocolate brown called Benny. Oh my gosh. Honestly, on camera, it kind of looks black, which kind of makes me wonder, like, what's the black gonna look like? Okay, on to the next row. We are now on the third row, if you're keeping track. And these are now the bigger sized pans in the palette. These James created as like the main transition pieces that all looks need, whether they are more traditional glam or like fun, abstract, and out there. So the very first color in this row is white, and this was meant to be a buildable white, as James calls it. So I'm going to do this on the darker side of my skin because I think it will do well there. But apparently, the very first shade is just supposed to be kind of light, and then you can go in for a second shade. Oh my gosh. And then finally a third shade. And once you do all of that, you should have a very bright, true white. And it is called Flashback. Can you hear them out there laughing? Next is this kind of like light gold shimmer. We're gonna go back over here. And that is called Face. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, so pretty. And of course, right next to Face, you have to have Tune, which is kind of a soft yellowish color. It's supposed to be a good transition shade as well. Next to that is a kind of light burnt orange brown color, which is called Code James. And of course, next to Code James, you have to have 10% off. That's a horrible swatch. Oh, well anyways, it's just kind of like a burnt brown, orange, sienna color. That's the word. And the last color in this row, I can find a room for it somewhere, is the black, which is called Spooky. Maybe for reference, I'll put it right next to this like really, really dark brown color, Benny. Let's just go right here. Ooh. And let's try a second layer. Wow. So you can see how Benny and the black color Spooky differ from each other. You can definitely tell that like one's black and one's more brown. That's crazy. That's such a pigmented black. On to the next row, which are now the more rainbow fun colors. So I'm just using a makeup wipe to get these off, and I think it's worth noting that it comes off pretty well with just a makeup wipe. I mean, you can see where like the black definitely left like a big streak. And it's kind of pinkish now, but other than that, it comes off pretty easily. And the other arm, of course, doesn't have as dark of colors, so it's coming off just fine. First off is this bright yellow called B. Ooh. That has more pigment in person, I think, than it does on camera. But that also didn't really swatch super well. Let's try again. That's a bit better. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, I believe this is also another one of those pressed pigments where you do have to like build it up. Yeah, look at that. That is, wow. So pretty. Next to that is this kind of emerald green. Well, not really emerald. Well, is this like really iridescent, like green shimmer color, which is called Guac. Ooh. It's kind of pretty. Really shimmery. I like that. Can't really tell on camera. Next to that is this light blue shimmer, which is called Hello. Ooh, that is pretty. That's just super like light and shimmery. Wow. Next to that, we have this, it's not really turquoise. No, it's not turquoise, but it's kind of like cornflower blue meets cerulean, but like brighter, if that makes sense. Right next to hello. Whoa. Next to that, we have the shade Brother, which is the true blue of the shade, which is also very, very hard to do. This, of course, is named after Sister Ian. Ooh, okay. So, again, this is another one of the pressed pigments, so that's pretty good already. Second layer. Even better. And third layer. I don't know how to swatch. That is like a very thick pigment though. Next to that, we have a very, very sparkly purple shimmer, which is called Artistry, which will go right here. Ooh, you can barely see that one. Even in person, you can barely see it. Although, like I said, it is so sparkly. So, like, it's almost like just putting sparkles on without any color. Super, super, super sparkly. But that's really about all I'm getting. That's a bit better after the third layer there. Next we have a dark mauve, and this one actually is a bit more mauve-y than the first one that I called a mauve. And this is called Love That. And I really do love that. Next to that we have this super cute light baby pink shade called Pinkity Drinkity. That's super light, especially on the fair part of my arm. You can't even see it. It definitely does show up a little bit better in person than it does on camera. We'll try layer 2 and layer 3. Yeah, I can see that better. So that is it for that row. And now for the last row. So first we have a bright neon green shade, which is called Social Blade. Ooh. Let's get some more of that. This is another pressed pigment, I believe. Look at that. Wow. Neon. My little transparent chart thing that told me all of the eyeshadow names fell, and I'm not exactly in a position where I can get to it because my bed is half lofted. So we're just gonna leave it, honestly. Anyways, right after Social Blade, we have this pretty, like, Irish dark green color. Ooh. Still very bad at swatching eyeshadow. Next to that is kind of a dark turquoise shimmer. Ooh. That's pretty. I feel like that's the only thing I have to say about all of these is that they're pretty. Next to that is a dark navy blue, which I do happen to know is called Cola. Named after James's favorite drink, Pepsi. Actually, I kind of like that better as a blue than I do Brother. Brother, I feel like it's just a little too, I don't know, cornflower. This one's more of like a cobalt navy blue. Next to that is a dark blue shimmer. That is so shimmery and pretty. And next to that is a dark royal purple shade. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Whoa. It looks a bit darker on camera than it really is in person. That's so highly pigmented. That is like insane. Next to that is this nice soft purple shade. Ooh. This might be a pressed pigment also because I bet you this will get better with another layer. And it does. That's layer 2. And layer 3. Wow. You can like watch that pigment like build. That's insane. And then the very last shade is a bright neon pink, which I also happen to know is called Skip after James' dad. Ooh, look at that. Pure pigment. Layer 2. Oh, that's so bright. Layer 3. Oh my gosh. Also, look how pretty just this little rainbow is. Well, the aftermath of that would be 3 used makeup wipes. There's makeup everywhere. If you can't tell, I am on my bed. So there's like pillows that now have just like pink powder. That looks like Skip to me. So, I've been recording for almost an hour now, which means it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yay! I do wish I sounded more excited about this and enthusiastic. I am exhausted. I kind of do wish I would have waited to film this, but at the same time, like, I'm so glad that I did go through it now. Of course I know all of the colors that are in here, and I think a lot of you probably do too, but just to like try them for myself after I've heard all of the hype and everything, it's honestly just, it's amazing. It's unreal. I don't know where I'm gonna put this now. It's a lot bigger than all my other palettes. Alright, so I never really gave this video a proper outro, so I just wanted to gather like a little summary of my thoughts since I was so incredibly tired the night that I swatched all of the shades in the palette. Basically, the bottom line is that I would definitely recommend this product. I do really like the layout of how James organized all of the different shades into like the top 2 being glam and the bottom 2 being more like abstract and colorful, with the transitions in the middle. I thought that was really smart, and I really like that, you know, like you could create any possible look that you could ever even think of. And I just think that was really, really smart, and I'm really excited to like play around with it and actually try out some looks. James said that his main goal with this palette was to create heavily pigmented eyeshadows. Like that was his main priority, and I definitely think he did achieve that. Some of those colors are meant to be packed on rather than swiped like I did, so I think a couple of the swatches perhaps would have done a little bit better if I had packed them. But at any rate, it's a very high quality. It is so pigmented. Like, obviously, like, you see the videos. I've watched a few different people swatching it, and you don't really, truly grasp how pigmented these colors are until you see it for yourself in real life. So if you're thinking about purchasing this palette, I definitely would recommend it. If not, go head out to your local Ulta or Morphe store. Check it out for yourself. You can see the pigments. They're insane. So unbelievably pigmented. The shadows themselves, they seem to be a pretty good quality. They're really soft, actually. So I think that'll be really handy when trying to blend them out. I think they will be able to blend very well. Like I said, I have not made any looks or anything with it yet. All I've done is the swatch, but so far I'm very happy with this. I definitely think it was worth the cost, and I also definitely think that it was well worth the hype. I'm really looking forward to making more looks in the future. So if you want to see some of these looks, definitely let me know in the comments below whether I make some of my own or recreate a look that James did. Let me know down in the comments. So that's all I have for today. Oh, except I had an announcement, I just remembered. So in my last video, the fall bake with me, which I will link in the upper right hand corner right now if you have not watched that. At the very end of that video, I said that I was working on a little secret something, and because this is the last video that will be going up before the little surprise, I will let you know what that is now. I will be doing Vlogmas this year, so of course, the first video will be going up on December 1st, so stay tuned for that. I would definitely recommend subscribing to my channel so that way you can see all of the videos. Don't forget to click that little silver bell so that way you don't miss a single one of the Vlogmas videos that I have planned. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on December 1st. Bye!